Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make and inform decisions. In this video, we're going to dive into the ISO so-called banking tokens or payment tokens, or the tokens that facilitate cross-border payments. And we're really going to talk about the flow of money and how all that's going to look, especially with FedNow about to launch. And guys, I'm here to tell you, there is so much misinformation out there of what everything's going to look like. And before we get started and dive into it, I just want to tell you, none of this is negative about some of my favorite projects that are, say, ISO certified type projects, which is like XRP, XLM, Hedera, Quant, Link. I own them all. However, I really want people to get a better understanding of their use case in payments and in banking and in the future, because it is nothing like what we are told every single day. Because from what I can tell, people tend to do research, but they're only following the crypto projects like, say, HBAR or XRP, and they do not follow the legacy banks and the major corporations. And guys, I hate to say it, but in the future, the same legacy banking system is going to control pretty much everything that they can control now and more. So that's what we're going to talk about, and we're going to dive in at the end of this video into FedNow. But stay with me, guys, because after this, what I want to do is get you up to date of what I'm seeing in all my research, and then how I think it's going to play out. And guys, there's a new player in cross-border payments that has just launched, and it might be a big player, and this particular token might be one that you want to look at. So anyway, let's get to it. Guys, first of all, when it comes to payments and cross-border payments and the flow of money and banking, that is absolutely the most cutthroat, most competitive sector of all of crypto. I mean, everyone is fighting for that piece of the pie, and it's a large pie, but guys, it is extremely competitive. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about like Bitcoin, Lightning, and their dominance in that sector. We're not even going to bring that part up, but they are one of the leaders, period, and all the corporations that are using Lightning. So we're not even going to dive into that. But guys, look at this. You got PayPal pushing further into crypto as payments competition heats up. So we know PayPal is now doing international cross-border payments. They've partnered with Visa for cross-border payments. We also see Visa and MasterCard partnering up into the tokenized assets and tokenized credit cards, basically, to be able to do international payments with a token. And I don't understand exactly how that's going to work, but the point is everyone is moving into this sector. Now, here's what I want everyone to think about. And guys, feel free, do your own research, but do the research of what the legacy banks like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and what they're up to. Read their roadmap for blockchain, because guys, they are absolutely dominating the sector now, before crypto, and now that crypto's here, they are dominating even more. And they got the customers, they got the money, they got the power, they got the connections. If you really want to know why that Ripple is in a lawsuit with the SEC, well, all you got to do is look at the legacy banking systems. I can almost guarantee you they made it happen. They bought time to play catch up, And they've done that, and now they are leading the way. And I don't like it, but hey guys, I'm just trying to find the best information so I can know what projects to put my money in to capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history. So to me, guys, none of this is negative. Even though I own some of these tokens, or all of these tokens we're going to talk about, I'm still very bullish, but it's not going to look like what I thought. Now look at this, guys. It says banks can 10x blockchain industries, says Chainlink co-founder. Now guys, when you dive into this article, they talk about the big players. And if you do the research on your own independently and look at what's going on with the legacy banks, you're going to see these same type names pop up. Look at this screen. BNP Paribas, BNY Mellon, Citi, 6 Digital Exchange. Guys, that's a token you might want to take a look at as well. SDX. It is going to be a powerhouse, I think. But what I'm trying to get you guys to think about is, don't think that the future of crypto is just going to be the projects that we think of, like XRP, XLM, HBAR, or whatever. Now, check this out. This is one that kind of, I think, might be a powerhouse in the future of cross-border payments. And I don't like the SUI token, mainly because of the tokenomics and the way it's launched and how much money is behind it. All the big boys got in early, just like they were doing years ago. And so it pumped hard out of the gate, and it still hasn't pulled back enough for me to want to jump in. And I know, no matter what, you can take this to the bank. And this is not financial advice, but I believe the SUI token and like Aptos are really, really going to pump. And they're going to pump hard. But when it's all said and done, both those projects will be getting dumped on because of all the big VCs and the early investors. But hey, knowing that just means do not hold your token past this next bull run if you own that project, for whatever that's worth. At least that's my opinion. All right. The ex-employees of PayPal, that's been at PayPal for a long time, spun off, and now they are creating a SWIFT-like cross-border payment network. So what I really want you to understand, guys, and if you bear with me right here, I want to show you what the future is going to look like for the most part. And if you want to understand how the ISO tokens work and things like that, check this out. This is 6 Clovers. They are a corporation, just like Ripple and a lot of the major players out there that are moving into cross-border payments, the fintech type companies. Well, they are going to get a huge market share. Now here's what the understanding. Their program is called Versal, and that is a global universal payment network for cross-border payments and everything like that. But check this out, guys. When you think about how is XRP or XLM or HBAR or a lot of the banking tokens, when you wonder how they're really going to be used, the gist of it is the bulk of what they're going to do is they're going to be the interoperability or one of thousands of options to make payments around the world. So I want you to think about this. For this company right here, 6 Clovers, their company has all these partners. Now look at these partners. See, you got Solana, you got Stellar, you've got Ethereum, you've got Algorand, and it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. And that's how like FedNow and pretty much everything's going to work. There is not going to be like one big dominant player like say XLM or XRP that everyone is using. they're just going to get their piece of the pie, and they're going to fill in the gaps. The major pie is going to come from like the CBDCs and FedNow. Now, here's where we really got to get a better understanding of FedNow, because, guys, the reason I make these videos is the misinformation is so great. We are told every single day that our favorite banking tokens, or ISO tokens, or whatever you want to call them, are going to be huge in so many areas. And they're going to get a piece of the pie, but they're going to be small pieces and all over the place. They're going to get a lot of small pieces of the pie. Now, when it comes to FedNow, people don't like this, but this is the reality. Everyone wants a piece of FedNow. Now, I want you to read these articles. Again, guys, I highly recommend, if you want to do your own research, start following the true players. Who controls the cross-border payments right now? Who controls the biggest flow of money? Who has the most power right now in the world? Well, guys, it's JP Morgan and companies like BlackRock and BYN Mellon. Guys, they are all digging in to crypto. They want to control all the rails. They want you to put your crypto in the banks. They want you to buy your crypto through stock exchange, Wall Street corporations, and that's their goal. They want you to use CBDCs or FedNow or stable coins that are going to be backed by the banks. It may be the banking tokens that are already starting to hit the market. But guys, I'm here to tell you, if you are stacking these banking tokens thinking that they are the future and that they are going to dominate, you're wrong. The players that run Wall Street and run the banking system now, their blockchain, their tokens, their fees are going to be the ones that are going to lead us into the future. I hate that, but that's just the way it is. But now, here's one thing I want you to think about, guys, because you'll hear some of our favorite projects that are going to be partnered with FedNow, and they are. But guys, how big of a partner are they going to be compared to the likes of JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and some of these big names? That's what I want you guys to think about. Let's look at this. Check out these names. It says on the list are the larger players, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and payment processor FIS. Well, guys, I don't like JP Morgan. I don't trust them, but I will follow the money and I will invest alongside them, or hopefully I can front run it. But I want you guys to understand something. There's over 40 banks working with FedNow right now. The banks are who they are going to try to push everything to. They do not want these new cutting-edge fintech companies to have a piece of the pie. They can't control them and they can't stop all of them. But guys, they can give the lion's share to the likes of JP Morgan, and I expect that to happen. And this is just what I see in my everyday use. Now, a lot of people don't understand how powerful JP Morgan is, but think about this, guys. If you know the history of how the Fed was created, guys, JP Morgan made all that happen. JP Morgan basically bailed out the U.S. government. JP Morgan, the FedNow, Jekyll Island's house, the famous, weekend at Jekyll Island where they announced the Fed, well, that was at JP Morgan's summer home. And there was, I think, 9 guys there. Well, like 5 of them were under the direct control. Either JP Morgan owned their corporations that they worked for, or they worked directly for JP Morgan. They had a huge influence on creating the Fed. Now, here's the other thing. For whatever this is worth, JP Morgan owns 29.5% of the Fed. The Fed is a private company. So think about it, guys. Think about all their voting rights and everything that how they're affiliated with the Fed. So no matter what, guys, We cannot stop the power of the likes of JP Morgan. And that's what I want you guys to really, really understand. The future is going to be great for XRP, XLM, Link, Quant, HBAR, Casper. I think they're all going to do great. They're going to get their share. But guys, don't kid yourself to think that any of those projects are going to front run like Ethereum or Bitcoin and catch up with the likes of a JP Morgan. It's just not going to happen. They have too big a lead, too much money, too much power, too many connections. The future of crypto, for the most part, from what I can see, is going to be dominated by the legacy banks and by the major corporations. And what you're going to start to see, guys, in the next couple of years is, yes, they're going to partner with, say, Quant and a lot of the other blockchains, especially like Quant for interoperability. But guys, it's just software. You can clone any of this with enough money and enough developers, and that's what they're going to do in the future. And then they're just going to start pushing stuff onto their plate, whether it's the metaverse, cross-border payments, you name it. Corporate America and the legacy banking system and the governments with their CDBCs, guys, they're going to take over and dominate crypto. That's what this video is about, guys. I really, really want you guys to understand that it doesn't look like what we are told every day. Most people do not look at JP Morgan's roadmap, Goldman Sachs roadmap, but guys, their roadmap 10x's everything that I know of. I mean, they are dominating crypto right now. We just don't know it because no one's talking about the $1 billion a day that JP Morgan's private blockchain runs in and out of the repo market. We don't even talk about that. We don't even know it. But when it comes to the flow of money, guys, unfortunately, JP Morgan and legacy banks are going to keep dominating. So don't let anyone kid you. There's plenty of opportunity out there, guys. And the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is no matter how good the opportunity may look through all the influencers telling you stuff, it's probably not what you think. And if you understand it, you're going to look at other projects that might have a lot better risk reward. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section. And if you want to, be one of the haters that love to hate on these videos and talk about how Bitcoin doesn't have a use case or things like that, or JP Morgan, they can't stop what's coming, the flip of the switch and all that stuff, guys, hit me with some facts. Facts, guys. Math and facts. And the facts are the dominant players like Swift, which is partnered right now with, I believe, 14 different banks. They are trying to decide about tokenized assets, smart contracts on Swift, and settlement payments, all that stuff, guys. These major players that are dominating the flow of money, they are putting their plans in place. Guys, don't kid yourself. All right, guys, that's all I got. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that like button. And either way, guys, come back and be part of this community. Take care.